I had to actually go to her because she couldn't be bothered to come to me. Her mother is Debbie Reynolds, her father is Eddie Fisher, her stepmother is Elizabeth Taylor, so that's who she is. She started off her life as Princess Leia, then she dropped the princess and picked up the pen, and she lived there ever since. She is, among everything else, a leading expert on relationships. Now we will go to Carrie Fisher. Okay, what's the time now?
The time now is 2:15.
2:15, and we were here since?
Well, I've been here since 10:15.
10:15, waiting for Carrie Fisher. A lot of you may wonder, who is Carrie Fisher? As we all. But whoever she is, she's made us wait here for 4 hours. It's a peeved look. All I can say is, she better be funny or she's out. They say she's off drugs, and we can only hope. Fingers crossed. Anything could come through that door. Well, let's show the books, and maybe that's as good as having her on the show. Here, you pretend you're Carrie Fisher, and I'll pretend I'm Carrie Fisher's friend. Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
I really like your book.
Thank you.
Did it take long to write?
No.
That's been very interesting. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Look, pretend I'm Carrie Fisher. Pretend I'm Carrie Fisher. Come on, ask me some questions.
Are you off the drugs now?
Off the drugs, completely off the drugs. Once in a while, I wake up and I'm not sure if I'm in the right room, but otherwise, I'm perfectly fine. Is she coming? Recognize her?
It isn't my first B12 shot. It is, as a mother, which you would think it would be a better, hello, I'm Princess Leia Organa. Fly me to Alderaan.
Do you know who she is? Be honest.
No.
No. What do you think she does for a living?
Thank you. Is that
Food fight! What does she do you think? And why are we filming her?
Why are people talking to me? Because I'm a high fashion model.
Wait,
high fashion model?
it used to be, but she had a horrible accident. Horrible. But you were an actress, and that was further than I got. I don't know how good or bad. I'm desperate. We discussed
Yeah, well,
this
try
yesterday.
saying Governor Tarkin.
You
I
got
thought
into
I
Central
recognized
School
your
of
foul
Drama.
stench, yeah.
Do you want to say why, or you don't want to mention it? It was an endearing story. She got into Central, and this isn't funny, because...
You can't do it.
You can't do it. I can't do it. I can... Look, if I cut the bit out where I laughed.
No.
The reason this girl got into Central School of Drama was because
drama.
speech and drama, which I could not get into, though I auditioned twice, and I think was pretty good, was because they took like 12 people, and the 12th person, two Americans, and one American died. I'm not smiling, and so she got in, unfortunately, and she got in.
She had an epileptic fit in a bathtub.
Right.
So don't want this.
No, don't upset this woman. Just she'll be a voice in
She'll
the
be
background.
upset anyway, though. She has an upset energetic that finally results in a pleasant mood. My daughter watches TV and she sees people she knows, so now she expects everyone she knows to be on TV. They put an ad. So Meryl's on in the upcoming thing of what's the movie?
Schindler's List.
No, you.
Oh, House of the Spirit.
House of the Spirit.
Schindler's List, that's not funny.
Okay. No, but the next thing is, so they put an advert on for Schindler's List, and my daughter says, Hannah! That's funny. It was just a dark-haired woman running for a bad train. A train you wouldn't run for, say. You would run away from that train. Only she figured, Hannah!
But it's a
She
compliment.
just thinks everyone that she knows is now on TV. But I just love that she was in Schindler's List, which means that she has an eye for the tribe. But she didn't say, like, grandpa or anything.
No, but you look like a kind of Schindler person.
I know, and
She is a
Billy
Schindler
at 21
person. Yeah.
months knew that.
But pull your hair back. Let's.
And run for the train. Quick, do the running for the train thing.
What, just,
Did you call Liz Taylor like Mom?
Oh yeah, I still do. Yeah, she adores me, drags me up onto her lap. What happened today, darling? How is the book doing? She adores me. No. No, I met her once when I was about 3. I went to the Beverly Hills Hotel with my father, and what I remember was she was wearing like a see-through negligee when she answered the door. And I remember it, so I must have known it was very important, and this was the clue to what had happened that had gone wrong.
And did your mother, was she kind of, what was she then? Was she as angry?
She's not angry, I'm on her behalf. But my mother was never upset. She was always like a fan of Elizabeth Taylor.
She thought, well, if you're going to be left for somebody.
Might as well be Elizabeth Taylor, and that is really probably the truth.
That's her ego wasn't damaged, I'm sure.
Oh, it was. It was. Because Elizabeth was a friend, And it was a very public humiliation, and she wanted to die. And she had 2 small infants, and you cannot have the luxury of being depressed. I know this now, too.
Well, you got Paul Simon, which...
And I wrote all those lyrics. God,
You wrote Bridge Over River Kwai?
Bridge Over Debbie's Daughter, I think it was. But he changed it. I said, you're a fool. It's really catchy. Like a... But he changed it.
What does he know?
Men.
I know.
Go figure.
But he must have been fun. He doesn't
He
look
is
fun, but he looks like maybe
well,
when the doors
it's
are
not
shut.
like a consistent... But no men are.
And did you laugh at his jokes in the beginning?
That's how I got him.
Really? I bet.
Screamed with laughter.
I bet. And then when did like the stretch marks in your face?
No. So when he makes fun of being incredibly serious,
Yeah.
it is funny. And the funniest person drunk in the world, period.
Really?
Pouring wine on animals. You know, that's funny to me.
Yeah, but you know, I've been with men where you think it's impossible to get this guy to laugh, and suddenly when, you know, there's something
Oh, that's
comes
the
to life.
big thrill. But I mean,
Yes.
Harrison is the more
Harrison
extreme
Ford?
version of that, where you think, he's never going to smile. He is never, literally, there's going to be, his teeth are going to hyperventilate. I can't believe it. And then it happens, and it's like a miracle. It's like the virgin birth of his teeth. And you get so excited that you accomplished making him laugh. So, yes. There you
But
go.
then a lot of times when you get yourself in those situations, you're the kind of like tap dancer, you know what I mean? And that is your mission.
I was the one
and then
that
you
was
hate yourself.
practicing wise, knowing looks in the stone grass of their periphery. You know what I mean? They would be like, and I would be looking like I was deliberately not caring that we weren't talking at all. I was like the dead air queen, you know, like captive by dead air, contained by it. It's too quiet. I'm supposed to be making a point, but none existed. I acted like somebody like, how could you leave me? I'm so much fun. And like, who wants to have fun all the time, though?
I've been the tap dancer
They
all
do
my
say I
life.
want you forever, and then they go, oh, but I mean, forever just ended. You know, I want, now I'm, oh, I should have had a V8. Now I want something calmer. I want to be the center. I don't want to be Carrie Fisher's boyfriend. I
Right,
don't want to
okay.
be Ruby Wax's sidekick.
Shut up, my husband's listening to this.
Well, but I mean,
Yeah.
if you achieve a certain celebrity, you want to date an accomplished woman, you might not want to marry one. Because you don't want to be you know.
But between you
my
and Paul
mother's
Simon,
husband.
I'd say there's not much
Right.
competition. So what was the
Because
problem?
he's definitely Mr. Carrie Fisher. What? Does she want to be on the show?
No, I don't want to stop your private life.
God forbid. Hello?
Is this a Melissa that I didn't know?
Yeah, you know Melissa. We
I do.
met
I
her
got the wrong
together.
person.
No, you
This-
like her.
I know. I like her.
You
She's the one with
say
Chai.
hi really, really loud.
I thought it was nice.
There, you're on a show.
She has a friend.
I have a friend in England
who likes
gives me
her.
a party, and she says she likes
She has a party, and I didn't get invited.
You are invited. She
Melissa?
wanted me to invite you.
Hi, it's Ruby.
It just happened. Look!
How are you? We're
Look
filming
at
this.
this room.
actually. I'd love to come over later.
Oh,
I'll get Carrie to
good.
tell
Do you know who I am? You know who Eddie Fisher is? Who's Eddie Fisher?
Ordering and doesn't tip him.
See, he doesn't know who I am, but he knows I was in a
I'll see you
film.
tonight. Bye-bye. I'm invited to a party.
See, that's what's good about interviewing me.
What were we talking about? Oh, men.
Oh, what a shock.
No, we were...
Oh,
This is for your child, not for you.
is it really?
Yeah.
I love these.
Isn't it? It's my present to your child.
I'm
I know
so
she's
happy.
too young to appreciate
No,
it.
she isn't. She's seen one in the store,
But
sort of.
It's never too young to think things with batteries can make you happier than
Not,
individuals.
I couldn't agree with you more.
It's the early learning training. Look at you. See, that's the first time I've seen you smile today. Would you want him?
right? I'm not
Can't believe it's your social life again. Hello? Miss Fisher's room. Not really, she's in a cheaper room, but she'd like to pretend this is her room. And there's another one that's in the book, at the beginning of Delusions of Grandma, that's really good. It was something about your girlfriend said, or somebody said.
We were going to all these like self-help, hilarity, est, blah, blah. And we were at the est 6 day, which is this incredibly intense hello. And they do a sex night there, which is like you want to shoot yourself. If you have to stand up in all these categories, like if you've ever thought of having sex with your... There was one girl that stood up
With
in
your what?
zero...
You tell me you're
your
gonna tell me
mother,
your-
your father,
Oh,
your
right.
brother, your friend, your blah.
So
your
you have to
pet.
stand up?
You have to stand up and sort of, if you ever have done these things, if you've ever done, put your hand inside a donkey and wave to his nose, you know. So it was everything that you could possibly think of, right?
You
There
had to
was
raise
one
your
chick
hand?
that didn't stand up for anything. played with yourself. I mean, I started to feel guilty and stood up in categories that I didn't belong in. Because there were people standing up with things you couldn't believe.
You watched this at an S meeting?
So we watched this. It goes on and on and on. Here's what they did. If you got too tired, you had to stand at the side of the room holding a log, which would drop on your head if you fell asleep. I got up on the stage and they said to me, so what's your deal? What's your problem or whatever? And I went all around it, and it was drugs. I was like 24 then.
Right.
But I'm standing in front of 100 people, and so finally they said, what is your problem? And they show me the sheet where I put down, I would like to stop taking painkillers for no reason.
Right.
And I went, oh! I got off the stage, and I felt like my skin had been removed, and they said...
Well, you know, part of it is standing in front of 100 people, because it's like the...
It is
that's
the
why
process
you write, too.
of saying, I'm an alcoholic.
The process of writing it, too.
Yes.
The poison leaves you.
Yes.
It's over.
you
As
said-
soon as I've written this book, it's no longer true
Right.
of me.
I can
so
imagine.
it always makes me laugh when people say, are they autobiographical? Not anymore.
Right, somebody else.
But they were at the
History.
time.
That girl on the cover.
If I'm able to say it and name it, it is no longer so, precisely. If I can observe it, I no longer have to be it. I'm
But that's
free to be
brilliant.
something else also. I didn't know it. It's the power of journaling.
Yeah.
But the danger is that when you're writing it, it slimes you. Like you say,
Yeah.
the pages are sticky, and your life becomes you become this character.
Yes, yes, yeah.
So I get stolen for the period of time that I'm writing the book, and I don't write that fast.
Right.
The first one, yes. The next one's no. And as I see, I was writing the second book, and I was with Paul.
Right.
And I said to him at one point, these people can't end up together.
Ooh, and so the book starts to have a life
Make it
just as
take
strong
its
as yours.
sucks.
What can a man possibly give you? I mean, and I'm not saying
Peace
you.
of mind.
You think that's
Not
because
peace
because
of
the
mind.
rest of the world.
My mind is not his province. Peace of life. Do you know what I mean?
You just want to be.
I want to be allowed to be who I am without it getting up your goddamn nose. His. And you are permitted, and who might even permit you? Be who you please.
Right.
I want a very affectionate roommate. I don't want to be possessed. I don't want to be judged, criticized. I don't want to be as flawed as I've been with them. I don't want to be found
Well, why can't you marry
failing
your
them.
best friend?
Hannah, will you
I
marry
know,
me?
darling.
Seriously.
We've been trying. Well, the
I don't mean
problem
with
is,
a woman, okay? You know,
I'd
but
like to. but
Mary, you have
know,
men
but
friends.
My mother was in a movie called Susan Slept Here, and in it, it's with William Powell, Dick Powell, and he, I wish it was William Powell, and he, at one point, she goes to kiss him, and she goes, and he kisses her on the forehead, and it was my first sense of humiliation.
Oh.
I looked over my shoulder to see if anyone else had seen that my mother had just been, in effect, rejected because she was
That's a
the
great
stupid
image.
little ingenue, and I must have been 3 or 4.
And that stuck
What's
with
the
you.
Eddie story?
Well, the Eddie story is the only other person I've ever told this to, and I swear to God, is my therapist. Because it's my,
Wow.
you know, seriously, it's not what he did. This is your father, Eddie
what he didn't
Fisher.
do.
It's what he didn't do.
I knew it!
No, wait, listen.
Story of his life.
I'm in Vegas. My father took me there when I was about 6, and I was a really ugly child. I had like bad teeth, you know, those like kind of the missing link thing, and I had my Shirley Temple doll with me. So we're at the Dunes Hotel, and my father says, "There's Eddie Fisher," and he was sitting with some cronies of his, and my father went over to Eddie Fisher and said,
no.
"Hey, have I got a girl for you? Hey, Ruby, come on out here. Come on out here." And I was hiding behind the thing, and he went, "She's beautiful." And your dad started to go, "Yeah, let's see her." And my father, I think it might have been 10 seconds, but to me it was like 8 years went by going, "Boy, she's a knockout." He was with Liz
How
Taylor
old
at the
were you,
time.
6?
Maybe 8. He's a knockout. You gotta see this chick. Come on out here, Ruby. And I wouldn't come out, and my mother went behind me and went, "Go on out there, Ruby." And I went out, and Eddie Fisher and his friends went,
Oh my God.
It wasn't cruel of your father. You know what I mean? It wasn't
You
like,
know what? It was cruel of all the
It was
adults.
cruel of my
no,
dad.
it was cruel
Cruel
of
of
every
everybody.
adult in
isn't
that
that
room.
horrible?
All right, we're going shopping now.
Okay,
Come on.
thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to get into this on your face.
I knew
I knew it.